Welcome back to an episode of We Are Again in Front of the World map that floats around on magical little stilts. And let's continue with our little side missions. Okay, so there are two quests. So, of course, we are going to keep these fellows about.
2 days into your journey to Windwall, a storm at the Gate of Kings forces your cohort to a halt. You withdraw into a nearby village, where you wait for it to pass. On the 5th day, you arrive at the Harratir-Windwall border. According to your map, Dracot is near.
All right, this is it. The Surfacer's outpost should be just up ahead.
Dwarves fighting dwarves? This is absurd.
Well, maybe once we've recaptured the town, we can make sense of this.
What about the soldiers? Should we wait for them to catch up?
They'll be here within the hour. Let's use the time to get a picture of the situation first.
Sounds good. Gives us some time to appreciate the scenery.
By the Guardians, help!
Ugh.
Someone help me!
Hear that?
Oh,
Yes. Someone is in trouble. The voice came from on top of that cliff.
can't use ranged attacks.
They are tied to the energy spheres! You need to kill them when they're inside of the spheres!
Okay.
Try to keep up.
Kill them in the spheres. Kill them in
Keep
the
it up.
spheres.
They killed one of our
Ooh,
heroes.
that's not good. Who's dead? Oh, Rafe is actually dead. As long as they are in this little circle, it should be alright. Yeah, I definitely should not use the axe skill too often. It takes far too long to charge up. I should rather use like ordinary kind of magics. Just in case.
What's this?
Arian's quills! That was close.
Who are you?
Ralph Mallory, Mage of the Windwall University. And this man is... well, I don't know.
Can't he speak for himself?
That's the thing, he can't. Where do I start? I'm here on behalf of my master, who is studying dwarven burial sites. However, when I came here, I found this dwarf kneeling in front of the altar. He was, how should I say, empty, drained.
Your master studies dwarven burial sites. Why?
Why? To gain knowledge. This is what archaeology is all about, isn't it? To unravel the unknown, to shed light into the darkness.
I see. I assume by drained you mean that he doesn't react to you.
He doesn't react to anything. His body works, his eyes contract, but there seems to be no sentience in him whatsoever. No soul.
Interesting.
Tell me more about this man's condition.
I would if I could. Frankly, I've never seen anything quite like it. His body is there, but his mind is just, well, gone.
Where do these corpses come from?
Well, when the dwarf didn't react to me, I tried some things to rekindle his aura. Then, all of a sudden, these undead crawled out of the earth. My guess is that my magic triggered a resurrection.
Do you know anything about the conflict in Dracot?
You mean those Windholm dwarves who attacked the mining town? Yes, they are the reason I'm giving Dracot a wide berth. I'm here for the graves, not to meddle in dwarven politics.
Any idea who this man is? A hunter? A digger?
Judging by his clothes, I'd say he's a worker or a scout, but I doubt we'll find out.
You should go back. This is a war zone now.
Yes, I heard about that. The dwarves. Look, why don't we join forces? Whatever you're here for, I think I can help. If not, at least allow me to express my gratitude. I have some coin to spare.
Nice, thank you.
Wait. We can't just leave this man here. We should end his suffering.
You mean you want to kill him? But why?
I'm not sure about this, General. What if he wakes up?
It's an order.
What? No.
2 days into your journey to Windwall, a storm at
Okay.
the Gate of Kings forces your cohort to a halt.
If not, at least allow me to express my gratitude. I have some coin to spare.
Okay, so before we do any dialogue choice, like, look at this. It's not it's not a kill command, right? It's definitely not a kill command. It's a question kind of thing.
Sorry, but we don't need more company. And you don't owe us anything. Just make sure you get back to Greatkeep safely.
Oh, well, that's noble of you. Then good luck with whatever it is you came here to do. Tiara, bless your travels.
So, Wraith, back in the Purity Wars, you were quite indifferent to the fate of Nortender. What made you become an idealist all of a sudden?
I'm not an idealist. I'm only trying to survive. If the God of Light makes it into our world, your race doesn't matter.
Fair point.
There. That must be the surface dwarves outpost.
More moon. There's like tons of moon silver, right? What is going on? What about this creature? 1000 health. Very weak against stuff. Giant mole.
Yes.
Right.
Over here.
And they're dead. Let's hope they weren't like useful for something. Hey, we got a ring. Perfect.
Wolfguard. Been a while since I've seen that crest. Let me guess, you're here because of the Windholmers.
We are. Who are you? And what are you doing out here?
Kerga. Kerga Dwalmir. And I'm here to admire that lovely piece of dwarven engineering. Just like you, I'd wager.
What can you tell us about it?
You mean other than the fact that this whole situation is a Nihal forsaken mess? All I know is that the mad Windholmers put this barrier here. Probably because they don't want anyone behind this wall while they're busy ransacking Dracot.
Any idea why the Windholmers are even here? Why did they attack Dracot?
Darlin, I have no idea. Word has it he's done little else than instigate the people in the past few months. And maybe this is the result.
Any idea how to get through?
Well, I'm no Earthshaper, but I do know that a barrier like that requires a device to sustain it. A little dwarven engineering, if you will. Get rid of that device, and the barrier comes down.
Well, so long.
So long.
And thanks for all the fish. Dun, 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 dun.
Sure.
General Erev, isn't it? What took you so long?
We got held back by a storm. Are you the leader?
Oh, I guess you could say that. Hi. I'm Harratir Oakenbraid, Mayor of Dracot. Former mayor, that is.
So the Windholmers are still controlling the town?
Oi. Frankly, I'm at my wit's end. Dwarves fighting dwarves. This is just wrong. It's gotta have something to do with that sodding priest.
Priest?
Right. How would you know? The Windholmers have shut themselves off since King Rorik's death. Apparently a former priest of Nihaf seized power. Arrakis.
Doesn't King Rorik have a son?
Oi, he does. A useless dandy, more concerned with the latest beard fashion than politics. If this Arrakis is even half as ruthless as his goons, I doubt the prince was much of an obstacle to him.
What do you know about this priest?
Not much, I'm afraid. I tried to reach out to my brother who still lives in Windholm, but I haven't heard back yet. Frankly, I'm a bit worried. If we manage to capture one of the attackers, maybe we can interrogate him.
Good idea. All right, let's talk tactics. How do we reconquer the town?
Well, I'd suggest brute force. But there's a little problem we'll have to solve first. The barrier at the aqueduct.
We saw it. We also met a dwarven woman there. Some kind of hermit.
Kerga?
That was her name, yes.
So you already made her cheerful acquaintance? Well, we'll come back to that later. Right now, this sorry excuse for an outpost couldn't withstand a horde of rabbits. In other words, we should reinforce this place before we take any action. You brought soldiers and craftsmen, didn't you?
A few as backup for your men, yes. They should be here any minute.
Grand. Since I'm no commander, how about you giving us a hand reinforcing this place? My friend Egrim, that pale lad over there, can give you a hand with that. Let him know that you'll handle things from here. And take a look at that barrier if you want to. We'll talk tactics once you've gotten this place into shape.
Are you Egrim?
That's me. I saw you talk to Harratir. Does that mean you're the general the Queen promised us? Where are the troops? No offense, but I expected something with a little more...
General Erev!
Corporal, just in time.
Well, that answers my question.
Mayor Harratir said that our workers and yours should join together to reinforce the outpost.
Ah, I see. Aye, I can do that. Best we start with that old trading post over there. With your help, we could turn it into our base of operations.
Sounds good. Corporal, send in the workers.
Will do.
So let's talk to this guy first before I do anything else.
So, looks like you're all set up, huh? Grand. Tell me if you need to know anything about, you know, dwarven warfare. Though, that sounds a bit fancy.
So how is a dwarven economy different from a human economy?
Good question. First and foremost, Do you know what a dwarven pacifier and a dwarven house have in common?
No.
Both are made of stone. We dwarves use stone for almost everything, and we need lots of it if we want to flourish. Meaning your first priority should always be to find quarries and build as many stonecutters as you can. You'll need them.
You guys don't use wood, do you?
Why? No pun intended. Would we? It's harder to gather. Breaks easily and attracts fire like a dung heap attracts flies. Best thing you can do with it is to burn it. That's why we only have charcoal burners. They collect the wood, then burn it so we can use it for the smithies.
Where can I equip and hire soldiers?
Barracks for the simple folk, workshops for the more advanced contraptions, golems, dropships, balloons. But I'm afraid we can't help with the latter. We don't have the equipment for these advanced units.
How can we enlist more soldiers? We'll need them if we're to march against Dracot.
That one's easy. Just ask in the capital. It'll cost us, but it's worth it.
I think we need more workers. Is there anything I can do to make that happen?
There might be. Check in the capital. They might have a plan.
All right, thanks. I best get going now.
All right. Nihalf, guide your sword, Erev. And our axes.
Everything is stone. Yeah, so we need stone first. Over here. I think they scrapped this idea of moving resources around because this was really annoying. I don't know. Over here.
Our reserve of stone is low.
Oh, there's a bear there. It's not good, not good, not good, not good, not good, not good. Why is there a bear there? Why didn't I see this thing? Where'd the bear come from? Come on, kill it. Yes, we got it. Okay, question. Where'd that thing come from? Ooh.
Try to keep up.
All right, we've reinforced the outpost. What now?
Good work. So, let's address the elephants in the room. The barrier and Kerga. She's the only person I can think of who might be able to help us out of this mess. See, Kerga is more than just some hermit. She's a former engineer of the Bastion, and a damn fine weapon and runesmith. He used to put some of the best smiths back in Windholm to shame. Now, if we could somehow convince her to fire up that forge of hers again, and fashion a couple of runestones for us, we could do something about that barrier. Because, believe it or not, some of my men here actually used to be Earthshapers, and could use Kerga's runestones to dispel the barrier. You follow?
You want me to convince Kerga to fashion runestones for your Earthshapers?
So that they use their magic to bring down the barrier. Exactly.
Why do you need me for this? Can
Well, it's complicated. Suffice it to say that Kerga and I have a bit of a history together.
Of course.
Also, your word as the general of the Wolf Guard carries a lot more weight than mine.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
That's all I'm asking for. Good luck.
Back again, Wolfguard.
So, Harratir told me you're a former engineer.
Aye. What else did he tell you?
That you could equip his Earthshapers with runestones so they can bring down the barrier.
Darling, even if I fashioned them the best runestones on EO, the buffoons would sooner blow themselves up than dispel that barrier. So, short answer, no. Not going to happen.
They can't be that incompetent. Why don't you want to help them?
Because Harratir is involved, that's why. He can beg and grovel and send as many Nortandian generals as he likes. It's just not going to happen. Tough titty, said the kitty.
What happened between you two?
Oh, before or after he told me that he loved me, swore the Granite oath, lived off my savings for a year, and then ran off with some young elven wench.
Oh.
Ouch. You realize that there are lives at stake here, don't you?
Look, I know you mean well, but aside from the fact that I enjoy seeing fate finally getting back at that bloody ox, I'm not that keen on stirring up trouble with the Windholmers. I know better than to pick a fight with the Bastion.
You wouldn't be over here if you didn't want to help.
Well, I guess you have a point. All right. For starters, I have a better idea than handing magical explosives to a bunch of nitwits. I told you that barrier is a result of some lovely dwarven engineering, didn't I? Well, thankfully, I'm at your disposal. I'll destroy that device they have set up and dispel the barrier myself. Then I don't have to deal with Harratir, and you can go retake the town. Everyone wins.
Why didn't you suggest this earlier?
Because I didn't want trouble with the Windholmers, that's why. Now, are we doing this or what?
Do it then.
Lovely. Stand back. Ow.
What just happened?
What happened?
The barrier must have had some kind of defensive mechanism. I'd need some sort of protection in order to... By knee half. It just had to be Harratir's men, didn't it? All right. As much as I hate to say it, it looks like we need those Earth Shapers after all. They can use a protection spell while I take care of that device. I'll get Harratir's men outfitted with the rune stones they need. No guarantee that the buffoons won't try to eat them instead of use them, but that's the best I can do without better materials. Also, since this might take a while, there's something else you could help me with, but that's up to you. It involves trolls.
Are there lots of women in the Bastion?
No. One of the reasons I left that shit pile behind me, frankly. No matter how good my work was or how committed I was in the army, every day some nitwit comrade came up with a new joke, suggesting that I'd be better fit crafting soup ladles than crossbows. And it's not as though I didn't know what I was getting into. When I told my mother of my plans to join the Bastion, she warned me that I was in for a rough time. Of course, I brushed it off as nonsense. But anyway, let's not go there. It's ancient history now.
Before we do anything more, though, and continue the dialogue, we're going to end the episode. Then we can see what Kerga can do for us and what the dwarves can actually do as well. Until next time, like and subscribe, and ta-ta.